preview tonight's game, Spurs Cavaliers.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs. You're in the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Kansas 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you all back. TGIF, everybody. Hope you're having a great Friday. End of the work week. Weekend is here. Hope you all enjoy it. NCAA is in San Antonio. Yeah, the Final Four. So if you're going out there, be safe, have fun, take care. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to go to FanDuel right now, new customers can get themselves $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. By the way, everybody else, check out Locked On Spurs wherever you get your favorite podcasts. iTunes, Spotify, Kansas 5 Plus app, YouTube. Locked On Spurs newsletter. It's in the description below. Click on that link. If you're watching on YouTube, LO Spurs newsletter. Very easy. Click on that, completely free. What are we talking about today? Like I said, we're going to be catching up some Spurs news and notes that you may have missed this past week and a half. We didn't really get into the whole Wemby surgery thing. Apparently, the French national team coach let it out. And then we're going to talk about how Team France still believes that Wemby is going to play for them this summer. Should he not do that? Also, Rookie of the Year, looks like Castle's going to get it. He won the Rookie of the Month. So many other news and notes that you missed, including new Spurs murals. Are we done with them? Is it, they're overdone? We're going to ask our guests about that and so much more. Also preview tonight's game, Spurs Cavs. Going to bring him on. He is Raul Dominguez of the AP Sports. Happy Friday, Raul.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
I can't wait for the Raul Dominguez mural to come up in San Antonio. That'd be a good one.
And one of all the reporters, me and you. And
these stick figures with just names like on top of them. Like this one's Raul, this one's Jeff, like that. He is with the AP Sports. Make sure to follow him on X at Dominguez5 right now. Do that immediately. He got you up on all things, not just Spurs, but a lot of sports going on in the area. So again, follow him on X at Dominguez5. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some Spurs news and notes, Raul. I think the first big one that we really didn't get a chance to cover here, let's dive into it, is the recent news. And I guess the French national team coach, he kind of let the cat out of the bag that Wemby did actually have surgery to correct the deep vein thrombosis. There you go. Blood clots, basically, in his right shoulder. I wasn't too surprised, Raul, that it came out because I think that was one of the options that was on the table for this type of diagnosis, right?
yeah, I mean, I kind of figured he'd have surgery just to, because I know they have him on blood thinners, but I figured they would do surgery as well, just to make sure he's okay. Just to maybe kind of speed up the process as well, healing process as well.
Yeah. And according to the French national team coach, Wemby's doing fine on the road to recovery. I guess the coach and their staff spoke with Wemby, and he's doing good. It's kind of funny because the Spurs, I think Coach Mitch Johnson was asked recently about that report, and he pretty much flat out, he goes, I'm going to stick to what we've been saying. He's doing fine. We're going to move on. But they didn't either confirm nor deny it, though. Raul, your thoughts?
Yeah, as far as the playing, I mean, Spurs, Pop has long talked about he never wants to deny any of his players the chance to play for their countries.
Yeah.
Pop was big on that with Manu and with Tony, with every international player he had, and then obviously with Duncan with Team USA. Like he wants them all to play for their countries, but he also wants them to be smart about it.
Yeah. Again, the Spurs did not confirm or deny the French national team coach letting the cat out of the bag. I think he's out. Like when you go back and there's video. I think there's video of it, but you go back or just read the quote. It sounded like he just thought it was common knowledge. Like, what's the problem, right? He had a surgery. So
and that's it with the Spurs. Spurs. You look at with Pop, with everything that he's gone through. Spurs have always been very tight-lipped about any sort of injury, any sort of surgeries. I mean, you ask them, and it's one that they don't want to say anything because of HIPAA violations, but also, they don't want to reveal anything about their players. if someone gets sick, they just say undisclosed illness. Pop has been out. He was out before the stroke with various things, and they always just say, undisclosed reasons. So it's not surprising that that Mitch wouldn't confirm it. I think if Mitch had confirmed, I think Pop probably would have been on the phone with them immediately and probably would have yelled at him.
Yeah, exactly. But you brought it up right now. Let's go and dive into it. The French national team side sounds like they really, really want him to play. It sounds like they're expecting him to play the way he's talking. For those of y'all who don't know, Team France is playing in a summer tournament. It's kind of an Olympic qualifier. So they kind of want all hands on deck. They want to bring out their power players, and that includes Wemby. Now, we all know he's going through the blood clot issue and a blood thinner surgery recently. But I hate to break the news to the French national coach. I don't think he's going to play, Raul. I don't think that'll be prudent at all.
I don't think so either. I mean, typically, the blood clots usually are on thinners for, at least a few months. So I just don't see how he's going to be ready for it. Either, if he's still on the medication, if he's still recovering from surgery, and then even if, for some reason, the process is sped up and he's doing better, he's still not going to be in condition to play. So,
right.
I mean, obviously, if you have a player as talented as Wembanyama, you want him on the squad. But, I mean, France they're so loaded at the center position. I think they can do without Wemby. Obviously, we better have him, but I think they can do without Wemby for a tournament. You got Gobert, Ricochet, Sarr. I mean, they are loaded at center position.
Yeah, and you also factor this too. Wemby really hasn't had a significant amount of time away from basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he really hasn't. You go back to pre-draft last year, he was playing with the Mets team out in France up into the draft. Then the draft itself, and then there was the training camp, and then there was preseason, and then there was just a whirlwind of things you have to do. Then the regular season starts, so he really hasn't had a chance to get the summer league. We didn't mention summer league, he played the summer league. So the Olympic play, just on and on and on and on. Again, that just goes more to the point that I don't expect to see Wemby playing this summer. He'll probably be with the team maybe just to show support, maybe on the sidelines. But as far as putting on a uniform, I don't think it's going to happen. And I think that's probably what is best for him. You're dealing with a deep vein thrombosis. None of this rest. The Spurs, I'm crossing fingers for, will be a lot better next season. Mm-hmm. And they're going to come in, ready to go. De'Aaron Fox coming off the finger surgery. Castle entering the season 2. Who knows what they do with the draft? I think if you look at it from the Spurs side of things, to have a team at max power next season with Wemby well rested and well recovered from the blood clots, next season's team could be a little scary, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. No, I was talking about as far as Pop wanting them to play. I mean, as far as like, I wasn't sure if that's why maybe Wemby had the surgery. Maybe he was trying to cut the process.
Gotcha.
But as far as with Pop, Pop always wants his players to play for their national teams. But like I said, he wants them to do it, wisely. And I just don't see that this being wise for Wemby or for the Spurs, but especially for Wemby, just for his long-term health. I mean, I realize that, France wants to do well, but, there's going to be other tournaments. Wemby's going to have probably another 15 years or so, maybe plumps as far as international competition. Mm-hmm. So to me, the wise thing is just to sit out and let yourself heal. And then, like you're saying, obviously Wemby loves playing for France. He's very proud of that, but I know Wemby wants to win an NBA title, and Spurs going to have a chance for it. I don't know if they'll be able to win one next year, but like you're saying, you get those players back, you get the draft picks, you get free agents, and they're going to be a very, very good team next year, and they need to be healthy.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not expecting Wemby to be wearing French colors this season, this summer, excuse me. And I think he would probably agree to it. But man, these international players, they've got to put on that country uniform. I mean, we saw like Manu just drag himself out to play for Team Argentina. Tony, I did, correct me if I'm wrong, Raul, didn't Manu one time admit saying that winning a gold medal is more important to him than a NBA title?
Yeah, I mean, because it had to do with the fact that he grew up with those guys, and that was one thing that really helped Argentina is the fact that they all grew up together, played together. So, and then being the underdog and winning that, I know how much that meant to Manu and the country, and it was a way for him to build up, basketball in Argentina. I'm sure Wemby would love to do the same thing. France is getting so good in basketball. I mean, they're just deep, and they got all these great young players in the league right now, and they got more coming up. So I know he wants to win as many international titles with France as he can, but they're going to come. So they will come. I think, but again, I think him sitting out this summer is what's best for him and for Spurs long term and for France long term.
Quick question before we hit the break. Will you be surprised if he plays?
I would be shocked if he plays.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, there are certain pros to it. Because maybe it'll keep him in basketball shape. There's the on-court stuff, get him some sort of competition. Those tournaments in the summer usually don't last long. They tend to spread out the games, but I mean, if you go on a scale, Raul, pros versus cons, it leans heavy cons, right?
Yeah, and and then I don't think he's going to he'd be able to. I don't think he'd be able to do a lot. I think, like I said, he would try to get in condition. He can do that here in with Spurs, and he can work out with Fox and with Castle and them as well. It would be limited. It would be structured, and because Wemby's such a great competitor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at him. I mean, he was having trouble breathing, and yet he's still going all out before. So that even if he was hurting playing for France, he would just. He wouldn't. He'd fight through it. So it's. I think it's better for him to be watched.
Absolutely. He is Raul Dominguez of the AP Sports. Follow him on X at Dominguez5. We're not done catching up some Spurs news and notes when we get back. Shocker, everybody. Castle won another Rookie of the Month award. Yeah, we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. What does it mean for his Rookie of the Year award chase? Hint, hint. I think it's in lock already, everybody. I think he's got it. But anyway, we're going to discuss that and more, including murals. Are they overdone in San Antonio? We're going to get your thoughts on that. And don't forget about the game tonight. Spurs, Cavs at the Frost. We're going to look at that game in just a few minutes. But first, let's talk about 5-Hour Energy. Daylight savings snuck up on us again, and if you're feeling that loss of an hour's sleep, 5-Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in a round of golf after work, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5-Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. Basketball madness is here. If you've been staying up late watching the tournament action, 5-Hour Energy helps you keep you going the next day. Look, you got the on-the-go convenience, so whether you're at the game, traveling, 5-Hour Energy is easy to grab, keeps you feeling refreshed all day. Hey, extra daylight, extra activities, right? No need to worry about that. With longer days, get outside for that hike, run. Okay, we got Tropical Burst. That's the go-to for a quick boost. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab a 5-Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized. After the holiday hustle, there's nothing like giving your home a little TLC. I always find that decluttering and refreshing my space helps me get back into a routine. Whether you're tidying up, cleaning out, or just want to give your space a new look to start the new year, Wayfair has everything you need, all within your budget. Look, if you're looking for furniture, they got huge selections that make it easy to find pieces that fit your style and budget. Hassle-free delivery, free delivery, even for larger items. Wayfair site, so easy to navigate. You'll find everything you need in no time. There's nothing you can imagine right now that they might not have. I mean, seriously, they got it all. There's something for everyone, for every style, and every home, no matter your space or budget. Wayfair makes it easy to tackle your New Year's home goals with endless inspiration for every space and
For example, what is your decor style? Well, what items you want to pick? You want to go to Wayfair right now. So again, delivery free, fast, and hassle-free. Give your home the results it needs with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
I am Megatron. Do not fail me and subscribe to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
We're back right here on Locked On Spurs with Raul Dominguez. He's with the AP Sports. Follow him next time, Dominguez Cinco. You want to do that right now. We're catching up some Spurs news and notes that you may have missed. Shocker, everybody. Again, like I said before the break, Castle got himself another Rookie of the Month award for the month of March. I believe that's his second, Raul, of the season.
Yeah, the second. Yeah, was it back-to-back? So they said, I think him, Castle, Victor, David, and Tim are the only Spurs to win back-to-back Rookie of the Month.
And don't forget about Raul Dominguez. He won a back-to-back month. Yeah, don't forget about that. But, yeah, another one for the rookie. He's putting up some great numbers. I believe he leads the rookie class in total points, scoring average, all that good stuff. A lot of metrics are leading his way. So that begs a question, or maybe it's not even a question, right? It's a wrap, right? He's got the Roy, doesn't he?
I think so. I think people are trying to talk about Ricochet in Atlanta, but he's had a great season, but he's sort of come on here late. But Castle's had a great year, pretty much all year long. He hadn't had any really dips. I think Bradley All-Star. I think there was 2 or 3 games where he struggled a little bit.
Yeah,
I think it had with the fact that he was kind of overworked. The All-Star game, he did everything in the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how he win Rookie of the Year. I mean, he just had a tremendous year, and I think I don't remember what the total points was. I think he has like more than 400.
Well, I got it right here, Raul. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, right now through April 1 games. So he's number 1 in total points at 1,055. So again, that's through April 1. So obviously they played since then. But Ricochet is second at 841. So that's a big gap there. Just the remaining games left. It's his. It's going to be criminal if he doesn't get it. It'd just be. I cannot formulate an argument why he shouldn't. I can't. Yeah. The closest one I can think of is maybe because Ricochet's in the playoffs, but it's an individual award, not a team award. So you can throw that out the window. It's his, Raul.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's just no way that it can be anyone but him. And look at what Castle has done. And defensively, offensively, how much he's developed. He's been asked also to defend some of the best players as well. Mm-hmm. Come off the bench, started. He's just had a complete. So at times, I kind of forget he's a rookie because how well he played. Yeah. But he definitely deserves Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, when Wemby was playing this season, I think you and I were at one of the post game chats at the Frost, and he was asked about Castle, and he joked that. That Castle understood the game faster than Wemby did. Wemby said it took him nearly like 2/3 of his rookie season to finally kind of start clicking. He said that Castle got it faster than him. So that's a testament to him right there. And he's leaned on right now with no Fox, no Wemby. He's kind of like, I guess, the secondary option behind Vassell. But as far as next season, though, this is where I think we may see the last few games of Chris Paul in a Spurs uniform, because unless Chris Paul's okay taking a bench role next season, the Spurs would be more than okay with him coming back in that capacity, but they cannot keep Castle on that bench heading into next season, right?
Yeah, there's no way. I think they had told Chris Paul starting, that he was going to start, and I think they're keeping that promise. But also Chris is playing phenomenal as well.
Oh, he is
amazing. So he shouldn't be out of the starting lineup. But I think next season, definitely a backcourt of Fox and Castle, and hopefully Chris does come back. He adds so much to the team. He adds so much to the locker room. Seemed like Chris is having a blast, playing with these young guys and getting more playing time. Because if he came back as a backup, he'd still be getting a lot of minutes. He wouldn't be starting.
But well, that's the thing. That's the whole rub. I mean, maybe this is gonna be a whole other show next for Locked On Spurs. But we'll just touch quickly on it. That there's gonna be if Paul comes back, then they got themselves something to work with, the Spurs. So if you go with Castle to start, which that'd be the right thing to do, then you have Wesley and Paul. And does that push Wesley again deep in the bench as we saw this season, and Paul is your backup? Or Wesley been getting on a burn of late, does he become the primary backup and Paul takes a lesser role? Yeah. So something's got to give there. Yeah. So then who knows what they do in the draft? I mean, what if they're picking whatever at number 9? Let's say that, for example, and your best available player is another guard. Yeah, let's flip it and say, okay, teams are out there in the NBA who wants them, we'll get them for you. But you think that's an issue that the Spurs will have to cross soon?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think you look at Blake and Malachi, those are a couple of guys that should be playing, but just don't really have a role. Well, Blake's been able to play more here lately since De'Aaron got injured. But like you mentioned, if Chris comes back, or even the draft or free agency. So
free agency now.
I think there's going to be some decisions to be made.
Yeah. But if Chris decides to take his talents elsewhere, I mean, the Spurs, they got themselves a year of that know-how, that IQ, Spurs fans got to enjoy a Hall of Fame player wearing their uniform for a full season. So a lot to do that. But again, that's probably a topic for a future Locked On Spurs. All right, before we go to our next topic, which is the Spurs cast preview, we got to talk about murals. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, and especially if you live outside of San Antonio, there's like a tradition in San Antonio. Players get themselves murals. So David Robinson, George Gervin, the Coyote, Popovich, Wemby, Devin. You pick a player, past, present. Doug McDermott got one at one point. That's how much these murals are being to the fan base in San Antonio. And it doesn't matter if you live on the north side, south side, west side, east side, downtown, you're likely to cut across a Spurs mural of the players' images, maybe just some of the title, championship, the trophies. The point is that it's a tradition in San Antonio. It keeps on going, and it does keep on going because Fox and Steph Castle, they got their first murals in San Antonio, located at Rudy's restaurant on the city's south side. Now, get your thoughts on this in a few seconds, but I'm just catching everybody up here. Now, Rudy's, they have one of the biggest murals in San Antonio. The entire building is just painted in the Spurs faces. So you have Fox, you have Castle. Mamu, he's getting one too. His is a work in progress as of this recording. As mentioned, the big three, Manu has one. The point is that even inside is covered with Spurs murals. Now, there are some Spurs fans, Raul, that say enough is enough. Like, this is done. It's cringy. It's over with. Come on, let's move on. Do better, San Antonio. I heard that before. What do you stand on murals? You think they're overdone?
No, I love the murals. I mean, especially the one that was just done by JC. It goes by JC Art, Michael Sanchez, and Bernard Moreno. The one with Wemby, I thought that was just incredibly well done. You have Wemby taking a selfie in the background. There's space in the background. You have the Millennium Falcon going by.
Well,
you have the Coyote as an astronaut. I thought that was just incredibly well done. It's something different. I mean, usually it's maybe just a picture of, or a drawing of the player, like maybe holding a basketball or something. I thought that one that they did was just incredible. And Rudy's is a tradition, that they put the players up there. And then Rudy's is also the one that put Wemby up there before they had even done the draft order. He put him up there, and I think that was just a sign of, gave the Spurs good luck to draft him. I wouldn't mind having more murals. I mean,
yeah,
a lot better than the graffiti, a lot better than just blank walls. And I'd like to see them have people maybe get JC and Michael and Bernard more, because they come up with pretty clever and well done murals. But it's a part of San Antonio. I mean, that's like saying no more Fiesta events, or let's go with the Fiesta events. The more, the better.
Yeah, no, I'm all about the murals. I think they're fun. I think, especially in this juncture of the Spurs franchise history. It kind of keeps things light. There's a lot of L's right now coming up, a lot of losing seasons, but this is one of the things that brings a smile to most Spurs fans. Let's say a majority of them. I think the ones that are against, they're anti-mural, they're more of the minority. But the majority of Spurs fans really do. I mean, even the one downtown. And again, sometimes murals in San Antonio don't have to be about the players. There's a huge one in downtown San Antonio of the Spurs, like in a Mexican candle style. That's in a parking garage. I mean, that was massive, and it's really nicely done. I mean, the city of San Antonio even commissions people to do Spurs murals, right, Raul?
Yeah. And to me, the more the better, and then also, would love to see, murals of maybe even some of the old San Antonio Dodgers / Missions. I mean, they did a mural of Fernando Valenzuela. Can you imagine how many people would go there and take selfies with that? I mean, even at San Antonio, I think they were the Dodgers back then, I think. But just to kind of celebrate the city and celebrate our history, and, people love to take selfies now, so more art.
Our art, yeah. Yeah, art is really good, yeah. And I'm still waiting for that Raul mural to come up. Still waiting for that Raul Dominguez mural to come up. It's going to be you, like, on your laptop, looking straight down, doing your work, and then you have, like, maybe Megatron around you, because now Wemby has the Falcon next to him, so we'll put Megatron next to you, and then we'll put the Sword of Omens from Thundercats leaning on your desk, like that.
Have the Coyote behind me or something, yeah.
Have the Coyote behind you, yeah. But no, they're fun, everybody. They are fun, and for those y'all who are in the minority, it's a fun thing right now, everybody. Okay, just enjoy it, have fun. Hey, before we go to break though, and look at tonight's game, Spurs, Cavs. Got some fan reaction to the new murals in San Antonio. Again, Castle and Fox, and coming soon, Mamu's. Yes, Mamu's getting one. Let's see, there's some fan reaction here. Somebody says it was only a matter of time. The laughing face emoji. That's true, yeah. Chris Paul got one even before he got his jersey number. That's how quick these murals go up in San Antonio. Another fan from Stay Trippy 101 on X says, I love it, with a fire emoji. Another one from Burke BWB says, we appreciate the effort. So there's that. Let's see. There's a front of one that says, this is from Michael 121150. It says, De'Aaron Fox. It looks like one of my friends in the way they drew it. So a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fans really, really like it. Again, if you want to go see these murals, you want to go to kenspy.com/Spurs right now. You can see it's an article by myself. I just happened to be driving by Rudy's. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
I was like it was like early morning or late morning. And I was at the stoplight and I looked, I go, wait a minute. And the Castle and Fox were done. So I did a U-turn. So I turned around just to make sure I saw it right at one of the parking lot. The restaurant hasn't even opened yet. And I said, oh yeah, there they are. So I'm taking pictures of those two guys, the murals. And I looked to my left, and right there I saw the Mamu mural. So I said, it's coming soon. So yeah, go check out that Mamu mural. Go ahead, Hero.
Yeah, I was just going to add real quick. And the players, they love them too. I mean, when Chris Paul heard about that, Chris Paul was blown away. He's like, man, because I think it was during the introductory press conference that he was like, he was talking about how he was blown away by it. Because I haven't even done anything, and they're already putting murals up of me, and because he had heard about it or seen it. Same thing with Wemby. Wemby had heard about the mural before he got drafted. So the players love it. That they San Antonio has such a great fan base. So when they do things like that, the players hear about it, they appreciate it, they like it. I think Julian went out to Rudy's, I think, to take a picture when his went up. I know Victor went out there as part of a little story that they were working on, and he was in front of it. So players see it and they love it.
Yeah. That question about Paul and his mural. Actually, I was the one who asked him about that. And
there you go. Yes, right.
Yeah. And then immediately he turned to the Spurs staff and he was like, "Can we make a trip out there?" And they kind of like shook their head up and down, like, "Yeah, we can go check it out." So I think Paul has like 2 or 3. I think there's one still without the number. By the way, I drove by the other day. And then there's like another one. I forgot where it is. And then like there's a third one, but it's more of a collage, and he's kind of like tucked in there. not really just of him. It's like him and Wemby, and I think Robinson's in it, but it's kind of small. I think he's on the city south side. But nevertheless, where do you stand on Spurs murals, everybody? Let us know on social media. You can let Raul know on X at Dominguez Cinco. You can let me know by following Locked On Spurs, leaving a comment, and we'll read it in the future episode of Locked On Spurs. We're not done talking silver and black. When we get back, we're going to be talking about tonight's game, Spurs Cavs. Ooh, it's going to be a tough one for the Spurs. Can they do it? We'll look at the game tonight. Coming up next, right here on Locked On Spurs. But first, I want to talk to you about Open Phone.
Running a small business means you're wearing a lot of hats. Your personal phone becomes your business phone, and before you know it, you're juggling customer calls day and night. As your team grows, it becomes impossible to manage everything with just your personal number. That's where Open Phone comes in. It's the #1 business phone system designed to help keep your work and personal life separate. For just $15 a month, the cost of a few coffees, you get a complete transparency and visibility into everything happening with your business phone number. Open Phone works through an app on your phone or computer and integrates with tools like HubSpot and hundreds of others. It also uses AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, so you'll have a rundown of all your calls and action items the second you hang up. And if you miss a call, no problem. Automated messages are sent directly to your customer, ensuring you never miss an opportunity to engage. Right now, Open Phone is offering 20% off your first 6 months when you go to openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's OpenPhone.com/LockedOnNBA for 20% off 6 months. Openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you have an existing numbers with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge.
As the new leader of the Decepticons, I command you to subscribe to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
We're back right here on Locked On Spurs with Raul Dominguez of the AP Sports. Follow my next at Dominguez Cinco. Let us know, at least share your selfies with you and the Raul Dominguez mural in San Antonio. Send them to Raul's X at Dominguez Cinco.
Yeah,
man.
No, seriously, I would love to see more selfies with the Victor one. I mean, yeah, I think that's a great one for people to have with the selfies.
Yeah, the Falcon is cool. With the Falcon, yeah, I like that one. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned the Falcon because I didn't even I went back during the break and said, oh yeah, there is. I don't know how I missed it. There's a freaking Falcon there.
Yeah, because initially when they were posting the pictures, it was like kind of like the black background with the stars and stuff, and then they put in the Falcon, and then they put in very small, like you have to kind of zoom in on it on the pictures where they have the coyote, I think, as an astronaut. So, but those little touches I thought were fantastic.
Yeah, they're the one in downtown San Antonio. I think it's at Southtown 101. There's one of Wemby. They put him in outer space. I think he's holding on to the galaxy, or he's holding on to the Earth, or something like that. So they give him that whole alien space vibe they got going there. All right, Spurs Cavs tonight. Home game. This is the last of 2 home games on the Spurs schedule. So you got 2 more shots to check out your Spurs in San Antonio tonight, and then the final game against Toronto. But as far as tonight is concerned, they got themselves a handful, don't they, Raul? They got themselves the East leading Cavaliers. Cavaliers come into tonight's game 61. Oh, good Lord. 61-15. And the Spurs are 32-44. The Spurs are 0-1 against Cleveland this season. Spurs did snap their losing skid versus Denver, 5-game losing skid, 113-106 in Denver. Both teams were depleted. I was going to be shocked if the Spurs didn't get the W, but nevertheless, a win's a win, and they got it. For those of y'all in uniform watch, the Spurs will be in their white Association Edition jerseys today. And I'm going to start off the preview right here, Raul, with this little tidbit. Did you know, Raul, the Cavs on the road, when they are leading after the third period, they're 26-0. They've never been beaten, Raul. This is just a tough team, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're I was gonna say with their record, they're sort of like the old Spurs. When the Spurs, I think they won 60 games. I think it was 3 seasons in a row, which is incredible. So right now they're on that kind of roll where they're just dominating, home and on the road too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a daunting number. So keep an eye on that scoreboard. If the Cavs are up after the third at the Frost, might be another L for the Spurs. Hopefully not. And the Spurs can give them Cavs their first L in that record. Other things to watch out for is Cleveland's defense and just how good is it. They've recorded more steals than their opponents in 3 straight games. So they're definitely ratcheting it up in the defensive end. And at least for them, Raul, the Cavs, what they're playing for is just really fine-tuning before their playoff run, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but they also have an outside chance of still getting the league's best record. So, so they're 3 games back. I don't think they're going to be able to catch Oklahoma City, but that may be in the back of their minds, because I know I think you and I had talked about maybe when we were talking, I think a few weeks ago about kind of what the Spurs had coming up and possibly some teams maybe like taking it easy on them. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the Cavs are going to rest a lot of people or sort of take it easy. They got something to play for, like you mentioned, as far as fine tuning for the playoffs, and maybe they're in the back of their minds are thinking, hey, we still got a chance at the overall number 1 seed.
Yeah, exactly. For your San Antonio Spurs, they are on a 3-game home losing skid, so hopefully they can snap that tonight. Now, give credit to the Spurs. I mean, they kind of gave Cleveland a little bit of a fight, didn't they, on the road? Mm-hmm. It wasn't such a lopsided win. Now, granted, Cleveland was without their other big guy, Mobley, but I think just ultimately that size is just going to get to the Spurs because the Mobley's playing and the other big guy, I forgot his name.
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen, thank you so much. If they're playing, it could be. And the Spurs are just too undersized right now, Raul.
Yeah, I mean, when Bassey came back, he came back for 10 minutes the other day. Yeah. The last home game, but he was the first guy taller than 6'9" to play since before the All-Star break.
Wow.
So, because when they lost Wemby, that went their only active 7-footer. So, I mean, and then Jeremy's, had some injury problems lately. Keldon as well. So, who knows where they're going to be able to go, from here on out for the rest of the season. If they're going to, play today, maybe play tomorrow, play the next day. Like, you never know what's going to happen with them. But, yeah, Spurs are just really undersized right now. And the other thing is Allen and Mobley are both not only are they tall, they're active and athletic. So, it's going to be really tough on the Spurs.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And if you're Cleveland, you kind of want to put the Spurs away early, just so they can rest or whatnot. But hopefully the Spurs will give the Cavs some fits as they did out in Cleveland. One other point about your Spurs, watch out for that rebounding. The silver and black side. They've been out rebounded in 6 straight games. Again, going back to the lack of size. That's a big factor, but that's also been a common theme throughout almost the entire season. It's just cleaning the glass. Even with Wemby, they were still getting out rebounded, and it's just shocking. You have Wemby there. At that time you had a healthy Bassey, and for a while you had Zach Collins before he got traded. I just perplexes me how this team can get out rebounded. Raul, what do you think?
Yeah, with Wemby was having to defend the wings as well, and kind of help defensively, and even with Wemby, I think a while there, I guess Jeremy didn't start, so I think the second tallest was Harrison Barnes, I think it was. So they were a bit undersized even with Wemby, but it also had a lot to do with the guards not really crashing the boards at the time. So, you have Wemby, but Wemby was doing so many other things that it was hard for him to get back and get those rebounds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so hopefully the Spurs, again, could upset the Cavs tonight to be spoilers. I remember last year, they were spoilers to the Nuggets?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Completely changed the playoffs, that win over Denver.
Oh my God! Yeah, Denver's like, what just happened? And then that was it. That was a turning point for Denver and their playoff run. Hopefully the Spurs can do the same for the Cavs tonight. But again, it was likely going to be a long game, long night for your Silverback. Again, hopefully they can at least be competitive. I'll go for that right now. He is Raul Dominguez of the AP Sports Forum. When I said Dominguez Cinco, what you got working on there, buddy?
Just watching the Final Four and then kind of waiting for the Spurs season to come to a close. So off season is going to be, I think it's going to be great. Yeah. Spurs. So it's going to set up really well for next season.
Absolutely. Yeah. For those that don't know, the Final Four is in San Antonio this weekend, and it's. I live downtown, and I can really hear it. I can really feel it. It's just the vibe changed here. I got the Charles Barkley blimp flying over me, like constantly now. There's that. I think I got invited to as media to go to some events. Unfortunately, not the game, but some events here. So I think I might go check a few out. I can get into the concerts that are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got to do the concerts.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely go to that. And I live close to the area where everything's happening. And if I just take a step outside, you can just see, cars parked already. You see a lot of tourists already. So it's getting back with the T-shirts. Everybody's wearing their school colors already. So it's a fun time in San Antonio. Unfortunately, it's the last one in San Antonio. The last one.
Well, I was gonna say I can't wait for the new Spurs arena to get built because it's gonna come back, because then they're gonna have the Alamo Dome, they're gonna have the Spurs arena there to do other events. The convention center is supposed to expand. They're gonna kind of redo the hemisphere area to where I guess that could be a place for concerts and other stuff. So when the Spurs arena comes back, the Final Four is definitely coming back. So
absolutely. Again, he is Raul Dominguez. Make sure to follow my next at Dominguez Cinco. Do that right now, Raul. We always thank you for taking time out of your schedule to hop on here at Locked On Spurs. Everybody else will be back on Monday as the season starts winding down. We'll be on the road. So, just a few more games of the season mercifully comes to an end. But we'll get you through it right here on Locked On Spurs. Subscribe to Locked On Spurs wherever you get your favorite podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Kidsby Plus, at YouTube. Locked On Spurs newsletter is in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. Click on that link. Sign up right now. For Raul Dominguez, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.